Hey, RetconRaider here. Today's video is dedicated to mildly nuclear. Thanks for your support, Nuke. That said, let's get started. And welcome back to Phoenix Point, Backer Build 4. As always, keep in mind that this is just a pre-alpha. The developers are currently focused on implementing new content, so we're not actually going to see things like polish or balance until we get into the beta. Anyway, last time we ended up defending the town of Woodbridge from an alien attack, and in doing so, we spotted our very first alien base. Now, I am actually pretty tempted to raid that alien base. We never did get around to that back in Backer Build 3. Unfortunately, I'd also kind of like the aliens to have a chance to build up, so we can actually see some of the new, tougher aliens that they introduced in Backer Build 4. We'll just stay focused on getting to North America instead. That should give us access to a pretty dense cluster of new points of interest. We'll also have to stay focused on finding more supplies and, more importantly, new recruits. After all, we are going to need a backup squad if we're planning to branch out much further. Before we do anything though, we do have a couple of level ups to take care of. And you'll notice that as of the latest patch, we also have the ability to rename our soldiers. I've obviously taken the liberty of rounding up a few volunteers for our roster, but if anyone else would like to toss their names in the hat, feel free to let me know in the comments below. Now, since we're already taking care of a couple of level ups, I thought this would also be a good opportunity to go over the basic class abilities that are included in the current build. We'll start with a heavy here, who of course begins with heavy training, which grants him basic proficiencies with heavy and mounted weaponry. Then we've got heavy lifter, which doubles the weight that can be carried without encumbrance. Simple, but very useful. Then we've got jetpack proficiency, which is pretty self-explanatory. Just like with weapons, anyone can equip a jetpack, but if you actually want to use it, then it's good to know what you're doing. After that, we've got new class, which is actually shared across all 5 of the currently available classes. It essentially adds a third row to the character's list of currently available abilities, though the player will still have to unlock those abilities with skill points as normal. It obviously falls a bit short of the full-fledged multi-class system that Julian Gollop pitched back in 2017, but it does still give us some rather intriguing possibilities where cross-class synergy is concerned. Then we've got Body Slam, a special charge attack that does damage based on total weight carried. And then there's Rally the Troops, which restores a small amount of will points to all nearby allies. Useful for preventing panic, but not much help if you've already exceeded your will point limit. That finally brings us to Rage Burst, which is essentially the Heavy's ultimate ability. It basically lets the Heavy empty their entire magazine in a single attack, cutting down multiple weaker targets, or tearing through a single powerful one. Oh, Rev just hit level 3, so we'll grab jetpack training. And I guess we'll dump the rest of his points into willpower and speed. Next up, we've got snipers, who of course start with training in sniper rifles and handguns. Their second ability is Overwatch Focus, which increases their Overwatch accuracy by 50%. And then there's Gunslinger, which grants 1 free attack with any weapon the sniper is proficient in. That obviously includes the sniper rifle and handgun, but it is important to note that snipers can become proficient with other weapons through their personal track or cross-class training. That could be pretty powerful if paired with heavy weaponry. Then there's Eagle Eye, which doubles the sniper's effective perception range. I have to imagine that's mostly a placeholder because they haven't actually implemented the full perception system just yet. We should hopefully be seeing more of that in Backer Build 5. Then we've got Master Marksman, which grants a flat 25% bonus to accuracy. Simple, but very useful, and a pretty good reason to consider dual classing into Sniper. Finally, we have Deadly Duo, which allows the Sniper to take 2 shots with double normal accuracy. It obviously doesn't have the same raw damage potential as the Heavy's Rage Burst, but it's a lot more useful if you're firing at a distant target. Next up we've got the Assault Troopers, who, of course, start with Assault Training. That covers assault rifles, shotguns, and hand grenades. Then we've got Exertion, which instantly restores 50% of a soldier's maximum action points. Those points can then be used to move, attack, or interact with objects on the battlefield, making it extremely versatile. In fact, there were a lot of players who argued it was too versatile because it only costs 3 will points to activate. The player could use it to flank and often kill a target in a single turn, which would restore 2 will points, and they could then use those will points to reactivate Exertion, potentially allowing them to chain it multiple times in a row. That might explain why, as of the latest patch, it now costs 5 will points to activate Exertion. Next up, we've got Return Fire, which allows a soldier to counterattack whenever an opponent makes an attack in their line of sight. It only actually works with agile weapons, such as assault rifles and submachine guns. The player will also be able to toggle it in future builds, if they'd prefer to have their soldier conserve their ammo. Then we've got Ready for Action, which completely removes the cost for inventory actions and reloading weapons. That's actually deceptively useful, because as of the latest build, the player can only equip 1 primary weapon at a time. With Ready for Action, a soldier could easily carry multiple primary weapons, and then freely swap them out to fit their current situation. Next we've got Grenade Spam, which temporarily removes the action point cost from throwing grenades, while simultaneously boosting the throwing range. That's pretty powerful, but it's also very resource intensive. And finally, we've got Rapid Clearance, which allows the soldier to take up to 3 bursts at 1 or more targets, again at no action point cost. It's essentially a weaker but more versatile version of the Heavy's Rage Burst. Honestly, that's really what it comes down to with the Assault Troopers. They're intended to be the most flexible class, which does make them pretty ideal for multiclassing. Looks like Ryland's up a level, so we'll go ahead and grab Return Fire. And he's not ready for Devoted just yet, so we'll just boost his willpower manually. And that brings us to the Technician, who starts with training in PDWs, robotic arms, and automated turrets. Their second ability is Technician Heal, which is functionally identical to a standard medkit, restoring 8 hit points per use. The main difference is that medkits are a single-use item, but the Technician Heal runs off a 6-charge pack, which obviously provides much more flexibility on the battlefield. The main drawback is that it also requires robot arms, which do make for large and easily destroyed targets on the battlefield. Next we've got Technician Repair, which restores 8 hit points to mechanical units, such as vehicles and turrets. The final game will also feature things like cybernetics, combat drones, and even mech suits, so obviously this is a useful skill to have if you're planning to field that sort of thing. Then we've got Electric Strike, which grants the technician a powerful melee attack that can also stun targets. Not only is it useful for keeping your technician safe, but it can also be used to capture live targets, which will be necessary in the upcoming research system. Then there's Restore Body Part, which is obviously a specialized version of the Technician Heal. It essentially deals out less overall healing, but also re-enables any crippled limbs, temporarily restoring functionality on the battlefield. And finally, we've got Turret Combo, which serves as the Technician's ultimate skill. Under normal circumstances, an automated turret will generally fire at the nearest available target, but with this skill, the Technician can mark a target for the turrets to focus fire on. That's potentially a very powerful ability, especially if you carry multiple turrets at a time. And that's pretty much it. Keep in mind, this is just the first pass on most of these abilities, so we can probably expect to see changes in the future. It's also important to remember that the final game will have at least 10 classes to choose from, so we're barely scratching the surface where special abilities are concerned. Anyway, I think that's more than enough of that, so let's get back to exploring. Obatala Hill. Enough with the monsters already. Fair enough. Ginsburg. Oh shit, we need a motto? Someone had way too much fun with these mottos. The inhabitants of Matoaka are greatly pleased to see the Phoenix Project back in action and offer to share some of their resources. Why, thank you. An assembly is called and the precise amount of resources to be shared is debated. This takes some time, but in the end an agreement is reached. That was nice of them. I wonder if those payouts are influenced by our reputation yet. Our operatives have located a broken-down military convoy. There are no survivors. We have recovered all the resources we can find. Very nice. Hyper Mombasa. The citizens of Hyper Mombasa are greatly relieved to see our operatives. The last few months have been terrible for them, one tragedy after another. They are glad to see the Phoenix Project trying to figure out the Pandora virus. Unfortunately, they currently have no resources to spare. Well, Sinedrion's been pretty generous with us so far. I think we can return the favor. The people of the Haven are thankful for our support. Wow, that gave us a pretty significant boost to our rep with Sinedrion. Though I think at the moment the reputation system is mostly just placeholders. Hyper Mombasa. History is the actions of people in pursuit of their ends. Oh, very nice. There's our first vehicle, a new Jericho Armadillo. Very expensive though, and it looks like we don't have room for it anyway. We'll just have to remember where it is for now and come back for it once we've got sufficient supplies. Shelley, Mind Over Madness. Again, I can't imagine we'll see Sinedrion doling out new Jericho tech in the final game. Oh, and there's another recruit. We will come back for these guys once we find another Phoenix base. Macondo. There's always hope. Surabaya 2.0 welcomes the Phoenix Project operatives as representatives of the best of the spirit of enlightenment. A contribution to the Phoenix cause is only appropriate. Sure, why not? An assembly is called to discuss how much Surabaya 2.0 should contribute. The discussion is quick, as most citizens agree that the Phoenix Project is highly admirable and worth supporting. Not bad. Again, I can't help but wonder if the reputation system is already influencing these events. Alright, I think this makes a good spot for our next radar station. Okay, not bad. Let's work our way across the land bridge. Camp Takamikazuchi. Accept your lot so we all may live. Clearwater Commune. Hope dies last. New Athens. Amenable to persuasion. And another abandoned outpost. Sanedrion this time. That's probably a placeholder image. That's actually early concept art from 2017. I mean, they might still end up using it, but I'd have to imagine they'd at least switch it up to a higher resolution. Very nice. Moving on. High Gallop. Endurance and continuity. No comment. Can't click on this next... Nope, there we go. Nadezhda Garrison. Could be better. Alright, I guess it's time to build another radar station. That's unfortunate. We're starting to burn supplies faster than we're finding them. Well, that got us partway into North America. Let's keep moving. Peterloo Town. Pessimism of the spirit, optimism of the will. Another recruit. Camp Life. Humanity must live. More Hollow. Faith in freedom. Rumina. We're not dead. Good to know. Thank goodness. Alright, looks pretty standard. Let's get in there. Okay, let's see what we're up against here. Shield, pincer, heavy armor. That's definitely a heavy close combat build. We should be able to handle that pretty easily, especially on a wide open map like this one. The rest of these guys must be hidden inside buildings, so let's start by picking off that straggler. Nice. Not quite enough to finish the job, but that was still pretty nasty. Ooh, that's a little too risky. Let's move up a little closer, minimize the chance for a friendly fire. There we go. Okay, let's start moving up. We've got visual. 3 crabmen, too far away to engage. You know what? Let's bring the heavies up aggressively. That's what the jetpacks are for. We'll have the snipers take a couple of pot shots too. Might as well start wearing these guys down. Oh, that's a spitterhead. These guys do have a range attack. Off the shield. Oh well. Let's bring Rev up. That thing's about to vomit up mist, but that's fine. None of these guys are close enough to reach us anyway. Nice. That thing's disarmed. Still has acid spit, though. Cue the mist. Fireworm incoming. Oh, mind fraggers. Those things could be a problem. Please stop. Well, now we have to kill you. Let's see if we can take out those mind fraggers. Just out of range. Alright, let's save that food container instead. Didn't get his pincer arm. That's a shame. Well, keep advancing. No line of sight. Alright, let's clear the mist. The cloud should disperse in 2 or 3 turns, so that should give us enough time to save those containers. So close. One more shot should do it. We definitely need to clear out those mind fraggers before we get too close. We'll just keep our distance for now. Well, it was worth a shot. Oh, hey! Looks like that return fire came in handy. Alright, let's clear that fireworm. Nice. Oh, looks like it just topped 90 degrees in here, so I am slowly dying. Let's wrap this up. Come on. There we go. Thank goodness. Very nice. Yeah, for those who don't follow me on social media, we're just getting back into summer and my AC's frozen up, so I'm basically recording in an oven right now. Wasn't too bad when I started this session, but man, the temperature has really spiked. Huh. I think I accidentally killed those mind fraggers. Yeah, no sign of those mind fraggers. Okay, let's wrap this up. And we're done. Wow, looks like a clean sweep, too. Looks like we also gained 4 level ups. Though, that's clearly a visual glitch there. It's telling us that the Beck siblings didn't gain a level, but the color coding says otherwise. Nice work, squad. Let's head home. Very nice. Not enough to get us that armadillo, but that should be enough to get us into North America. Anyway, you can probably tell, but I am slowly melting, so I think this is a pretty good breaking point for the episode. We'll hit the pause button for now, but we'll pick up here next time. Hopefully once it's a nice crisp 72 degrees again. See you then. Oh, and remember, although I do love talking about Phoenix Point, you can find out more about the game by visiting the official website, the official YouTube channel, the official Discord channel, the official Facebook page, the official Twitter feed, the official development roadmap, or the original crowdfunding campaign over on Fig. You can also get your hands on a copy of Backer Build 4 for yourself by pre-ordering the game through the official Snapshot Games web store. As always, links are in the description. And now, I die.